Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and this is going to be a huge 3 versus 3 battle. It's going to be awesome. You have two Bretonnian armies. That's going to be on my side. I am in the center with Bretonnia, and we have a Chaos ally against Greenskins and two Vampire forces flanking him. Let's go over the army builds just real quick. So my ally here has 5 of these Spearmen-at-Arms, kind of protecting the Field Trebuchet, and then he has some Peasant Bowmen out in the front. In the rear, he does have a paladin, and then he has this huge cavalry force over here. 2 mounted yeoman archers, 2 of the mounted yeomen, 3 of the knights of the realm, and then 1 grail knight. And he's going to be pushing hard on the flank here. And we are basically set up in these defensive positions up on the hill, waiting for the enemy to storm us. They vastly outnumber us. So that is the plan, to let them wash up against us and let the cavalry hammer and anvil at will. He also has a mounted lord here. I myself am in the center, also doing kind of a similar strat. I have 2 men at arms, so these are the better halberd troops in the front, with 2 spear infantry and a field trebuchet, as well as a damsel. That's going to be what's holding me here. I then have a single knight of the realm and a grail knight, at least visibly so. And then in the force, I have 4 knights of the realm. And over front, I have my lord on Becky here, as well as some Pegasus Knights over kind of supporting him. God, it looks so glorious. And the point behind having this lord with the mounted escort is I know that sniping key vampire lords on mounts is going to be very, very good, and so that's going to be my hit squad right there. We also have Chaos in the forest, and Chaos has brought an interesting kind of monster-focused build. He has a ton of these Chaos spawns. That is actually going to be most of his force. I think it's 4 or 5 of these Chaos spawn, a Chaos Giant in the distance. He then has a line of Forsaken and Chaos Warriors in the front. So pretty small army, but very heavy hitting. We'll go over the enemy army composition really quick. I'm going to put this on play. So on the enemy's extreme right, they seem to be liking to spam these zombies. So we have 8 zombies with a Graveguard core in the back. You're going to have a Necromancer charging forward, a bunch of Vargulfs, Terrorgeists, and a couple Crypt Horrors on the flank. So this is going to be a huge, highly numerous force charging forward on this flank, and our Chaos Spawn are going to eat them up. But right now, they can't even tell what is in the forest. Most of our troops are hidden, so they're moving up. Over in the center, the Greenskin force has 3 of the Goblin Spearmen. It has 6 of these Savage Orcs. Let's take a look at these guys. These guys obviously not armored, but deal a lot of damage when in close quarter combat. So we'll see how that pays off. They do have a Warlord, or a War Boss, 3 of these Black Orcs, and then in the back they have 6 of these Orc Boar Boys, so 3 on the left, 3 on the right pushing forward, so the enemy has huge numbers. Over in the center, another one of these big zombie line spams with Crypt Horrors pushing up through the center. And then the sort of mounted component is going to be 2 of these bats, a Terrorgeist and a zombie dragon. So what I'm deciding to do is charge forward with my lord, and I just wanted to delay the Crypt Horror push. And this is going to be all in anticipation of our trebuchets focusing fire on these guys. So I'm starting to take a fair amount of damage, and I have to get out of here before the enemy can start to get Spirit Leech spells and all sorts of high damage spells off against me. It looks like one of them is going to get off, although I do get out of there without taking much damage loss, so I'm pulling out as quickly as possible. Oh, it looks like he Curse of Years, so he tried to take away my melee attack and my speed, but I got out of there in time. I'm taking lots of punishing fire for not much payoff. On the right, Chaos is going to be charging forward, like I said, against a zombie line. This is going to tear through them, so let's line up for a close shot of this. Ooh, and plus we're casting spells. Oh no, this is the zombies casting spells to try and buff these units. So they're going to tear these zombies apart easily. But because Chaos is so low in number, I mean, look what's charging up through the center. The entire Greenskin force is pushing forward to try and get a massive hammer and anvil here. We're crushing the front lines, but look at this huge force that's trying to get around the flank. I'm going to put this back on slow motion just so you can see what's happening. On this side, trebuchets and all that are trying to unleash on the cryptors who are pushing forward. They probably should have had the zombies go in first, but now we're going to start targeting them with our archers and all that. And on this flank, our cavalry is being unleashed, pushing really quick, and we're going to try and go for a nice big hammer and anvil on this force. Over in the center, my army is still kind of holding back, trebuchet firing away. My lord is going to be coming back on the right side, and what I'm going to try and do with my cav is reinforce this chaos army, because it is about to get hammer and anvil to death. Vargulf's going to be coming in. So with those orc boar boys, this is not going to be looking good for Chaos. Thankfully, Chaos did hold some guys in reserve, so it's going to be a double sandwich on the remaining troops. So this is just a kind of a shit show in the center. But, you know, half of the sandwich is only zombies, so that is not going to be a very secure pincer movement. Chaos tearing it up here. And I think we're going to win out. So now here come the Grave Guards trying to commit themselves in the fight. The zombie lord going to be watching, or the necromancer going to be watching over this, trying to cast spells and whatnot on this force. But we are having, you know, a field day against these weak troops. But it'll only be a matter of time before we get surrounded. So Greenskins are pushing forward. I'm trying to continue to pull back. What I've decided to do is send 2 of my Knights of the Realm, and they're going to try and go and reinforce this Chaos army, which is getting hammered. Only Kolek, or this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, which I believe is Kolek, can keep these forces at bay. Over on the left flank, what we've decided to do is actually throw in, like I said, a bunch of our Pegasus Knights and our Lords against the enemy Zombie Dragon. The idea was to snipe the enemy Lord, and here he's gotten super suppressed. We've got our Yeoman Archers firing in at him, and he's trying to escape the combat, but he's having a really hard time. We have Grail Knights in on the mix, and here comes another Lord, going to be taking him out. So this is one of the things you have to be careful of the zombies, is having your heroes sniped, and there he goes down. So our hit squad now takes off again, and with that, you know, they're just now getting in on our lines, tearing them up, but the zombies and other units are going to be taking a tremendous beating now that the Lord has gone down. We have units free in the back. Crypt Horrors are going to be going against Peasant Bowmen, which is bad for us. But over here we've been able to get a really good charge off on these Crypt Hoarders with my Grill Knights and whatnot. Knights of the Realm. So this enemy force is not going to be holding up. The zombies are just not sturdy enough, especially once we killed, sniped the enemy Lord. We got a lot of free troops that are going to start getting in the back, and now look at this. A huge charge into the back. Our spearmen are not expected to hold out too long because they're just such bad troops, but the timing worked out just right where we could get in on the rear of this, and look at our knights crashing in on the back of the entirety of this force, and like I said, they were just about to crash through our front lines. Paladin helping to secure the front as well. So this vampire force, I would say, is done for. Pegasus Knights going to be going after the White King and all kinds of units, so we've saved that force. In the front here, I have my halberds and spears all charging into, or holding back the Greenskin tide. Oh, sorry. So they would like to definitely get around my flanks, but I have so many numbers in here that I can hold this back almost indefinitely. Enemy hero is going to be casting spells. The War Boss getting in here. He's going to chew through my lines, so it's only a matter of time before they get back at us. I do have some of my Grail Knights that are free. I'm going to put this on slow motion just real quick so you can see what's happening. I had swung some cavalry around in the back and kind of helped smash the vampire counts. You can see my knights still kind of stuck into this action where, you know, it's become a hot mess. You have a Terrorgeist flying above, you have a giant smashing things, you have, well, you know, 4 or 5 different races all in the mix here. I just want to get some nice shots of that. But yeah, this is just kind of a clusterfuck, but I think having a couple of my units here to get some more hammer and anvils is going to be key to breaking some of the elite units or the better units like the Grave Guards. So definitely I'm paying, you know, dividends by being here. Still, the enemy spellcaster is getting some spells, so I think we may end up losing this. Chaos is down to its last couple units. The Orc Boar Boy is also going to be in the rear of our forces, but having these key units like the Giant is going to be super crucial. Oh, alright. How do I turn this off? Oh, sorry about that. Hey-o. Alright, put this back on play. That's what I meant to do. And yeah, so this force is pretty much mush. This is going to obliterate itself. The main crux is going to be taking place over here, where the Greenskins have been pinned against our forces. And now the main concerning part is going to be with these elite units. Oh my god. The Black Orcs are the ones that we're going to try and go for the flank, or even push through. This is why I brought my hero back. My little priestess lady. She's casting spells. She had gotten some lightning off. The damsel had, I think, yeah, gotten a lightning strike off and was trying to target the enemy war boss. I'm pulling away my hero, or at least I'm going to try to soon. He's going to start taking a lot of damage if he stays in the sustained combat too much. On this flank, we're mopping up the remaining force. I mean, they just crumbled super heavily once we took them out. And so this is one of those rare moments that you see Bretonnian peasant spearmen still holding out at the end of the fight. Usually they are the first to go. Marching triumphantly to the return with Grail Knights, trebuchets, and all that. So this is Bretonnia's finest hour. And yeah, look how many guys we have left actually on the field. So now we're all swarming back to save the day. Some of my troops still alive. Gonna be going in for a charge. Oh my god, the Grail Knights just punishing charge against these. Lightning storm getting off. But yeah, they're gonna be tearing into these Black Orcs who were trying to get around the flank. Oh, and we're gonna get another charge up against them. So on the open ground here, it looks like Bretonnia is actually cleaning up. Something you don't see too often, and just the inability of the enemy, I think, to get around our anvils. I guess they just committed straight into our anvils. Like had the Greenskins just gone around my men at arms, then they would have had a better time, just like they're doing now. Same thing goes with this army here. I mean, it got just checked and rushed into by Chaos, which was the perfect anvil for my forces to come in. Now, it did work both ways. Greenskins did have the Orc War Boys, which were running some hammer and anvils, but at the end of the day, Chaos with the Spawn and a bunch of Giants were just not susceptible to those types of losses, whereas the Vampire Counts, once we sniped their lords, and just the squishy units just hit that critical binding point much quicker than we would have otherwise had with our forces. My damsel is going to be retreating back to the line of reformed peasants. You can see them greeting her as she rejoins her forces, takes her place in the back, and now we're going to start to sally forth for a second charge. My knights are still in the mix, and you can see some of the goblin spearmen running away, but the Black Orcs and Savage Orcs are the ones that remain, so I don't want infantry going up against that. You can see a war boss there in the distance, right there dealing with my guys. So I'm going to pull them back, try and reform behind our line, which is where we're going to be pushing forward now. The damsel is going to be waiting to get more winds of magic so she can cast some spells on the opponent. We're up to 10. I'm waiting for 15 so I can cast a vortex spell. But yeah, our lords are pulling out. We're reforming on this flank. We actually have some of our yeoman archers, which I've never really used. I never thought they were that useful. You got an old granny here. Ooh, and they're actually going to get charged by enemy necromancer. So they were trying to get shots off against the enemy necromancer there, but we get charged in the back by another one with this just nightmare steed here. I think once we pull in some of our other Grail Knights, we'll see actually where they're headed. No, looks like they're going for a big pincer. So they're going to try and knock out the remaining Grave Guards and Vampire forces. We're going to get a final face-off as the enemy's reforming. The Boar Boys are killing our right side. But here they go reforming with the War Boss up against our guys. And the nice thing is we still have, look at these ranks and ranks of units moving forward. The good thing is we still have the trebuchets, which are going to be unloading on the Black Orcs. That's going to be our key target here. And now as they start to retreat, we do have some yeomen starting to get some shots on the those dudes. And then what I'm doing actually is I'm pulling forward my Maiden of the Lake. She's going to start to cast a vortex spell ahead of where these guys are running away. So there's a lightning storm here that I cast. I wish it would have hit the enemy, but what it does do is it forces them to kind of come back. And so now they're forced to stay within range of our trebuchet, take lots of punishing fire, and we're now counter-charging on the right side, and I believe coming out of the forest, we're going to have some more guys. They are taking out the remaining Grave Guards, which are, I mean, heavily crumbling. Yeah, nothing left of these guys. Wow, they all just instantly died. That was crazy. And now here comes the massive charge. Both of our lords on the right, cleaning up in the center, and there you have it, the final victory. So really fun battle. I think this is the first time I've seen Bretonnia beat enemy forces so hard, and I think it was just a nice combination of forces. The fact that the enemies didn't really bring too much to counter Bretonnia, they should have gone much heavier with spears, and just protected their flanks way better, and the ability of us to use Pegasus Knights and Mounted Lords to snipe enemy generals, especially for the vampires, just got the crumbling action to be a bit ridiculous. Let's end the replay and take a look at what happened here. So yeah, I mean, look at our numbers. Chaos with only 324 units, tons of kills for each of these, so being pretty cost effective. Yeah, that was good. I mean, most of it was against zombies, granted. Myself here, Trebuchet getting lots of kills, and then I have the Knights of the Realm getting a fair amount of kills. Even my Spearmen, who were holding the line, getting tons of kills. This force here, Spearmen at Arms doing well, Mounted Yeomen doing well, and the Grail Knights just kicking ass. On the other side here, you can see the vampires just sunk so much into the zombies, and zombies are useful if you're going to be having a holding force and then going around the flanks, but what the enemy did was just throw everything through the front, so these guys ended up just kind of taking up room, buying us time to get around the flanks and hit the enemy. So I think these zombies were just used super inefficiently, and you saw how that paid off. Cryptors here not paying for themselves, and you know, once those Cryptors hit crumbling status, not much else they could do. The Terrorgeist being sniped. The only one that did pretty well, I would say, was the Orc Warcock here. I mean, it's hard to do poorly with such good statted units. So had they brought, 3 of these armies, we probably would have lost. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. See you in the next one. Peace out.